We've got another musical experience for you. It's not miraculous, but it is supernatural. All right? Over the course of this experience, I think that you guys will believe in ghosts, and then you will not believe in ghosts, and then you will believe in something greater, something different, something else. All right? So this happened just the other day. Right? It's Sunday. Your boys, that's me. Your boys hanging out at home. I'm the hero of this story. Right? I'm taking care of stuff. I'm doing a little bit of housework. I'm listening to music, and then, like all heroes, I was taken down. Right? And a migraine. And so I went upstairs. Yeah, migraine, hilarious. That's funny. So I went upstairs and took a nap. And when I came downstairs, hours had passed. I couldn't tell you exactly what time it is. All I know is it was dark, and this time of year, that just means it was after 2:30. So it was dark. I settled in on the couch. My fiance was in the kitchen doing some stuff, and she finished up with that and then joined me on the couch. And then we heard from down the hall in the office, music started playing, right? And I was like, is that music? Because I'm pretty smart. And I was like, where is that music coming from? My first thought was the iPad, because of like all my devices, that's the one that acts the craziest to me. So I was like, it's the iPad, but then the iPad was right in front of me on the coffee table. And I was like, well, then maybe it's my work phone. But then I was like, I've never heard my work phone because it's either silent or dead all the time. So we had to get up. We had to get up and walk down the hallway and investigate what the source of this music was. So we go down the hall and we get to the office. The office was cold, and the music was coming from the record player. Yeah, right? The office was cold, all the windows were shut, and the music was coming from the record player, a device you have to physically touch for it to work. With mine, you can just hit the start button and it'll go, but like you still have to go in there and touch that button. I don't know if you know about ghosts, but ghosts love two things, and that's making rooms cold and then making weird noises that you can't explain. And it gets even crazier, because not only was the record player playing, but it was playing the last track on the record. It had not played any of the ones before. I know, right? I'm a rational guy, and my brain just slid out of my head at that point. Like I realized at that moment that I could not be a superhero. I can't deal with this. My reaction was I just turned the record player off, right? Like a superhero scenario, Thanos arrives, you're like, hey, Krister, can you help out? I'm like, try turning it off. Running away, right? But it quickly started to unravel this mystery before us. We turned around and the kitchen window was open, because my girlfriend had been in the kitchen making weed butter, and it was stinking up the house, and she wanted to open the window and stuff. So there was that. And then I started looking into the album that I was listening to, which is the first Gorillaz album, which is, you don't need to, oh yeah, all right. That's fine. You don't need to applaud, but you should, because it's a great album. Also, it's 20 years old. I don't have a joke at this point. That's just, it's 20 years old. It's old. So it's the first Gorillaz album that ends on a song called M1A1. But there's also a secret track called Clint Eastwood, Ed Case, Sweetie Irie Refix is what it's called. I don't care for it, typically, right? And what I remembered is that, I had been listening to M1A1, which is pretty distinctive. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with it, where it starts with that Day of the Dead sound clip, where he's going, hello, hello. Are you guys I thought you were into the Gorillaz. Okay. So it played that, and I love that track, and I resolved to myself that I was going to skip the refix, the Clint Eastwood, Ed Case, Sweetie Irie refix. But I didn't get the chance to do that because of the migraine. So then, right, so I just sort of left it. I can kind of leave that record player. The arm will return on its own. So, where was I going with that? Yes, so what we figured is that the record player had been on all day, and it was stuck in, it's what's called a locked groove. The secret track on this record is behind a locked groove. Normally you put a needle down and it follows a spiral, a very tight spiral, but a locked groove is a perfect circle. So it hits that and just spins. And we live on a busy road. It was a Sunday though, so there wasn't a lot of traffic, so it took hours for something heavy enough to go by to shake the house. And the arm popped over and it played the secret track, right? So right, perfectly logical explanation. But here's the crazy thing. When I hit the stop button earlier, Amy, my fiance, my beautiful fiance, she picked up the Magic 8 Ball on my desk. And she asked it 3 questions, right? Now, a little bit about the Magic 8 Ball. The Magic 8 Ball works with, it's got a die inside it, right? A 20-sided die, and there's something printed on each side of the die. And those messages, there are 10 positive ones, like signs point to yes. There's 5 neutral ones, like reply hazy, ask again later. And then there's 5 negative ones. And she asked 3 questions. And those 3 questions were, is this ghost? Because she's not an idiot. Obviously, it looked like ghost. So she looked at it, she said, is this ghost? And the magic 8-ball said, sources say no. Right? So she asked again, because it's a magic 8-ball, who knows how reliable they are. She was like, is this ghost? And this time it said, don't count on it. 2 negative answers, right? So then she asked the 3rd question. And this one is a different question, and it was very insightful, and I really appreciate it. She said, when we figure out what this is it going to freak us out? And the magic 8-ball said, very doubtful. Yeah, ghosts are not real, but the magic 8-ball 100% works. My name is Chris Terrell. Let's get your host back up here.